Masturbation is a natural and private part of life for many men, even into their 70s and beyond. But what most people don't realize is this. As we age, actions that once felt harmless can quietly become risky if not done mindfully. The heart grows weaker, blood pressure less stable, and the body takes longer to recover, making it more vulnerable than before. This video is a heartfelt message from a men's health expert with over 30 years of experience, revealing the 4 most common masturbation mistakes men over 70 often make and how to adjust for better health, confidence, and quality of life. From masturbating while fatigued, rushing through the act, choosing unsafe positions, to ignoring subtle changes in your body, each habit, though small, can silently affect your heart, circulation, hormones, and even emotional well-being. This isn't about fear. It's about self-awareness, self-respect, and self-care. At any age, you deserve to feel safe, connected, and fulfilled. There's no shame in talking about intimacy, as long as we approach it with respect and honesty. If you found this topic helpful or relatable, please comment with a number 1. If you feel it's a bit too personal to discuss openly, that's perfectly okay. Just leave a number 0 so I know you're here and still care. Thank you for listening, and here's to a healthy life, physically, emotionally, and in every private moment too. Part 1. Masturbating while physically exhausted, a common mistake that shouldn't be ignored. At the age of 70 and beyond, the body may not move as swiftly as before, but the soul still longs for moments of intimacy, connection, and peace. For many older men, masturbation remains a quiet, personal ritual, a way to unwind, find comfort, and reclaim a sense of masculinity that once felt powerful. Yet one important question often goes unasked. Is your body truly ready for this moment? Many men tend to masturbate when they're tired, after a long day in the garden, a walk around the neighborhood, a sleepless night, or even when dehydrated or hungry. It feels harmless, just a few minutes, but in truth, it can carry unexpected risks. When the body is tired, energy reserves are low, blood pressure can become unstable, and the heart must work harder to maintain circulation. During masturbation, heart rate increases, muscles tense, and blood flow redirects to the pelvic area, all placing added stress on an already fatigued system. This can result in dizziness, lightheadedness, nausea, or even fainting, strokes, or cardiac complications. One man shared that after a late-night session while exhausted, he stood up and suddenly felt the world spin. His heart raced, and he collapsed in the bathroom. Luckily, he was found in time, but not everyone is so fortunate. Some end up in the hospital or with long-term consequences, all from one moment of physical overexertion. Fatigue also dulls the emotional connection to the act. What should be a relaxing, intimate experience becomes a mechanical habit, and worse, it may leave behind a sense of emptiness. Several men report feeling sadder, more alone, even disconnected from themselves afterward, not understanding why something once comforting now feels hollow. Repeatedly engaging in this act while physically drained doesn't just pose immediate risks. Over time, it can negatively impact cardiovascular health, hormonal balance, recovery ability, sleep quality, and emotional well-being. At this stage of life, the body needs to be listened to and treated with care, not pushed past its limits. The good news? It doesn't take much to shift the experience. Simply choosing the right moment, when you feel nourished, rested, and mentally calm, makes all the difference. Drink some water, sit down, take a few deep breaths, and check in with your body. Are you truly ready? That simple pause can prevent harm and bring back a deeper sense of joy and safety, because ultimately it's not just about release. It's about preserving vitality, honoring your emotional self, and nurturing your body. You deserve to enjoy your private life. Just do so safely, respectfully, and with full awareness. Every mindful choice you make today is an investment in the health, freedom, and joy you'll carry into tomorrow. Part 2. Too fast, too disconnected. When the body moves, but the mind is elsewhere. Isn't it strange? Sometimes we perform a familiar act, something seemingly harmless, and yet we end up feeling empty. This often happens when masturbation turns from a mindful experience into a rushed habit, something we do just to get it over with. For many men in their 70s, masturbation no longer feels as emotionally vivid as it once did. It becomes something done quickly, quietly, sometimes with a tinge of shame, as if they no longer deserve to fully enjoy private moments. Influenced by societal pressure, old beliefs, or religious conditioning, some older men come to see intimacy as something inappropriate at their age. But the body still remembers. The need for connection remains. And so the act continues, but now it's rushed, mindless, and emotionally detached. The body moves, but the mind is absent. And in that disconnection, something important is lost. Rushing through the act prevents the nervous system from settling. Instead of relaxing, the body slips into mild stress. Breathing becomes shallow, muscles tighten, and the fight or flight system is triggered. This narrows blood vessels, limits circulation, and places unnecessary strain on the heart. For older bodies, these subtle shifts can have significant impact, from poor sleep and fatigue to long-term sexual dysfunction. Worse still, without emotional presence, the act fails to bring true relief. Instead of feeling connected or comforted, many men feel emptier afterward, even irritable or melancholic. Some say they feel the urge to look away from themselves, as if they've done something wrong. Not because the act itself is wrong, but because of how they approached it, rushed, disconnected, and without respect. And this pattern repeats. What should be a moment of reconnection becomes a mechanical routine, a tired reflex. Each time emotional intimacy fades, pleasure dulls, and recovery takes longer. Many blame aging. But the truth is, the issue often lies in the disconnection between body and mind. So how do we shift this? The answer isn't complicated. Slow down, sit quietly, breathe deeply, and listen to your body. Approach the act not as a hidden task, but as a form of self-care. Gentle, intentional, and full of respect. When you do this, your body responds. Blood flows more freely, breathing deepens, pleasure returns naturally. But most importantly, your mind is present. Emotion rises, and the sense of being yourself returns. Sexuality, and whether shared or private, is never just physical. It's connection. It's the energy of life moving through you. At any age, you are still worthy of love, care, and the full experience of being alive, slowly, mindfully, without shame or judgment. Just present, fully, in breath, movement, and feeling. Because real intimacy isn't about speed or skill. It's about being there, truly, with yourself. Part 3. Dangerous positions. A small habit, a hidden risk. Have you ever considered this? That the position you choose during masturbation could quite literally affect your life? For many men, especially those carrying old habits from their younger years, standing in the shower, leaning over the sink, or perching on the edge of a bed feels perfectly normal. Nothing to worry about, right? But after the age of 70, the body is not as agile, balanced, or reactive as it once was. What once felt safe can now become a silent danger. At this age, the circulatory system slows down, muscles weaken, and blood pressure becomes less stable, especially during sudden changes in posture. During climax, the heart rate spikes, blood pressure fluctuates, and blood rushes to the lower body. In that fragile moment, the body becomes more vulnerable than it appears. If you're standing, especially in slippery places like the bathroom, all it takes is a slight dizzy spell or a momentary loss of balance. And you could collapse, hit your head, or lose consciousness with no one there to help. This is not theoretical. One real-life example. A 76-year-old man, otherwise healthy, lived alone. He lost balance and fainted in the shower after masturbating under hot water. The steam, standing too long, and post-orgasmic blood pressure drop created the perfect storm. He fell hard onto the bathroom floor, fractured his hip, and lay there for nearly an hour before being found. That one fall changed his life. Mobility, independence, and emotional well-being were all affected. And it began with a seemingly harmless act, done in the wrong position, at the wrong time. But even without dramatic accidents, unsafe positions take a toll. Masturbating while standing, bending over, or unsupported places strain on multiple muscle groups: your back, knees, ankles, pelvic floor. Repeating these positions over time can cause chronic tension, lower back pain, nerve compression, and make future intimacy uncomfortable or even painful. What once brought comfort now becomes something you quietly dread. So what's the safer, more compassionate approach? It's simple. Choose a stable, seated position. Support your back. Keep your feet grounded. Make sure the space is dry, warm, and quiet. Safety doesn't take away from privacy. In fact, it allows you to feel more at peace, more present, and more secure. When your body feels supported, not forced to tense up or balance itself, circulation improves, breathing deepens, sensation becomes more gentle. And with that, not only do you reduce your risk of sudden injuries, you also create a space of calm, emotional connection, and deep self-respect. Because at any age, we all deserve to be touched, gently, safely, and with care. Part 4. Quietly ignored. When the body speaks, but we don't listen. Some changes in the body come quietly. They're not loud, not dramatic, just soft whispers from within, saying, something is different now. Maybe you notice a slight decrease in sensitivity. Maybe climax takes longer or feels less intense. Perhaps arousal doesn't come as easily, or there's a lingering sense of something missing that wasn't there before. For many men over 70, these small shifts are brushed aside. It's probably just age, and they tell themselves. And then they move on. They adjust. They forget. But the danger isn't in the change itself. It's in ignoring it. The body is remarkably wise and deeply honest. It never stays silent when something's wrong. Before any major issue arises, it always knocks first, with subtle signs: reduced sensation, difficulty maintaining erections, frequent urination, pelvic tension, or even simple fatigue after private moments. These aren't coincidences. They're early warnings of poor circulation, hormonal imbalance, inflammation in the prostate, or underlying nerve conditions. Many men seek medical help only when the problems are advanced: full erectile dysfunction, nightly urination, or unexplained abdominal discomfort. When asked, they often admit, "It actually started a long time ago, but I thought it was nothing." Because of that silence, in a moment that called for attention, they missed the chance for early intervention. A chance that could have changed everything. And it's not just physical. Ignoring these signs often affects the mind too. Many begin to feel ashamed, withdrawn, disconnected from their own bodies. They stop sharing, stop asking, and slowly what was once a source of intimacy becomes something to avoid, something silent and lonely. But here's the beautiful truth. If we're willing to listen, things can change. Those subtle signs can be invitations to check in, to reflect, to care. Many male health concerns improve with simple changes: healthier eating, gentle movement, hormone testing, and emotional support. The key is not to abandon the body, not now, not ever. We've lived in this body for over 70 years. It's carried us through joy, pain, hard work, and quiet moments. Don't wait until it screams in pain. Pay attention to its whispers. Don't dismiss what seems small, because those little signs could be the gift that saves you from something far greater. The aging body isn't weak. It simply needs a different kind of care, gentler, more mindful, and deeply respectful. And when we choose to listen rather than ignore, we don't just protect our health, we restore connection to ourselves, to our feelings, and to the quiet, sacred rhythm of life that still pulses within each breath. The deeper lesson: listen to your body, slow down, and love yourself. When we're young, the body tolerates a lot. Habits formed in our youth often carry into old age unquestioned, but after the age of 60, everything, our heartbeat, breathing, emotions, and ability to recover, begins to shift quietly yet deeply. And if we don't pause to notice, things we once thought harmless can slowly turn into physical and emotional burdens. The 4 mistakes shared in the video: masturbating when exhausted, rushing the act, using unsafe positions, or ignoring unusual bodily changes aren't just minor missteps. They point to something bigger. We've grown so used to doing things out of habit, we've forgotten how to listen to ourselves. At this stage of life, the body doesn't need shame or denial. It needs care. It needs us to reconnect, safely, slowly, and respectfully. Intimacy is not something we grow out of. It's part of life, part of self-love, and part of what makes us human. So the greatest takeaway is this: don't rush, don't ignore, and don't be ashamed. Instead, start tuning in to the little signals. Notice your breath. Make space for quiet, safe, meaningful moments of connection with yourself. If this video made you reflect or feel understood, please comment below with a number 1 or share something from your heart. Your words may just comfort someone else who's quietly going through the same thing. Don't forget to hit like as a small way to honor your own health and well-being. And if you find these topics helpful, feel free to subscribe to the channel. So every week, you receive more thoughtful, gentle, and real conversations crafted especially for people over 60. Continue living fully, in your own way, but with deeper kindness toward yourself.